What's going on, guys? Faux Games here, and today we have for you a very special video. It's not applying to the background gameplay you're seeing here. That's just a little gameplay for you guys to enjoy. It's an old one with some old players I don't have anymore, so just going ahead and look at that in the meantime. But we're talking about Team of the Year, baby. Week 17 was yesterday. It's all done. Regular season's over, which means Team of the Week is Team of the Year, my bad, is finally here. So we're gonna speculate on who's gonna be getting these cards real quick and why I think each of that. So first of all, the reasoning behind some of these cards is just going to be because not they're the best at their position, like the quarterback position is going to be highly controversial, but because let's say you guys think it should be Matt Ryan or Tom Brady. Either of those guys, they're up for contention for MVP, so EA is most likely not going to give them a card since they have the potential to get another big card later in the year anyway. So this is where they like to give cards to guys who had good years, but maybe not the overall best at their position. So I figured we'd start with the offense, and last year they did 2 receivers and then like a lower rated receiver that was also a special teamer. And this year, I mean, there's only one guy this could obviously be. The guy who's been taking back punts like crazy, running with the ball, catching the ball. Tyreek Hill from the Kansas City Chiefs right there. I don't see any other guy that could take that spot from him. And now we have our 2 receivers. Now this is where it might get a little controversial. A lot of people are just going to be saying Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham. And they're not wrong that those are probably the 2 best receivers in the league right now. However, that's not who I think is going to be. Because like I said before, I think those guys are going to be able to get some more cards later on in the year. And Antonio Brown already has a handful of cards. So does Odell Beckham. So I don't think they're going to be getting Team of the Year cards. So who I think is going to be getting it actually. Okay, ready for this? The first one I think will be T.Y. Hilton. Now, this is another controversial one. I can understand that. But he did lead the league in receiving yards. And even though because he was like the only target on the Colts, but I think he will get a Team of the Year card. He is in need of an upgrade. I feel like they're going to give one to him, and I feel like the other one is going to be going to my man Mike Evans, another guy who needs an upgraded card. And the Julio Joneses and Odell Beckhams and Antonio Browns all are going to get upgrades later on in the year without a doubt. So I feel like this Team of the Year is going to go to Mike Evans and T.Y. Hilton. So that's that. Now let's get on to the running backs. Now, there's a couple of contenders here, but I think, honestly, when you look at them, you got Le'Veon Bell, DeMarco Murray, LaShawn McCoy, Ezekiel Elliott, David Johnson, and Devontae Freeman. There's only one guy who could be here, in my opinion. That's David Johnson, a guy who's been an MVP candidate that no one pays attention to. Freaking amazing athlete, and for some reason he's not getting any attention or any upgraded cards from EA. Well, it's not true. He had a couple Team of the Weeks, but I feel like he needs this Team of the Year. And if they decide not to give it to any of those guys, a wild card guy I would say would be possibly LeGarrette Blount. He leads the league in rushing touchdowns with 18 and has not gotten an upgrade card from his gold one. So, yeah, we could be looking at one of those. Now, quarterbacks. Like I was saying before, don't think it's going to be Matt Ryan or Tom Brady, even though they have been having really good years. I could see it being Derek Carr as one of the guys probably because he's hurt. They're not going to be able to give him any more Team of the Week cards or Football Outsider cards. So, yeah, I would see it as either Derek Carr or probably Aaron Rodgers, not Dak Prescott. He'll most likely get a Offensive Rookie of the Year or some sort of Rookie of the Year nod if Ezekiel Elliott wins MVP or if Ezekiel Elliott wins Offensive Player of the Year. I'm sure he'll win something where he can get an upgraded card later on in the year. Then at fullback, not too much going on there, but I would go with Kyle Juszczyk. He's just been having a pretty decent year for the Ravens. Nothing spectacular, but it's a fullback. And then tight end, I would go with Delanie Walker. There's another guy who needs an upgraded card. He's had a great year, really under the radar, and he has not gotten the love that he deserves from EA. Then the offensive line, I feel like it's going to be Taylor Lewan. We're going to see him from Tennessee. That guy's been doing pretty good. He caught a touchdown, too, as well earlier in the year. So they might even give him an out-of-position card. Zach Martin, best guard in football. I don't know how you don't give him a card right there for that. Other guards, I'm trying to think of who we could put there right now. But I know there's a Marshall Yanda has a pretty good card, but he could use an upgrade. And if not him, then definitely Dave DeCastro. That guy doesn't have a card, and he's been having a great year for the Steelers. In terms of centers, let's see. There is Rodney Hudson from the Raiders, but I feel like he might get a card sometime in the playoffs, like maybe a Football Outsiders card along those lines. And I think it's going to be Alex Mack, though, honestly, for the Falcons. That guy's been having a pretty good year. Came over from the Browns, I think, and he's been having a good year protecting Matt Ryan. And then right tackle, I think, is going to be not actually a Pro Bowl guy, but Marcus Cannon from the Patriots. Last year, their offensive line was so weak, and this year, they've just improved on it so much, and he's the main reason why. He really stepped his game up. And, yeah. So now moving on to the defense, guys. We have... at defensive end, you could say like Khalil Mack, those guys, but I think it's going to be Vic Beasley. Honestly, he led the league in sacks. He deserves to be getting an upgraded card. He did get a Team of the Week, but he didn't even get to the Pro Bowl, which I find BS. He didn't get to the Pro Bowl, yet somehow he leads the league in sacks. So I would definitely see him getting one of those cards, and the other card would probably go to, I would have to say, Clowney. Clowney's been having another really good year. And then a D tackle, there's a lot of great contenders, but I think Ndamukong Suh has been having a pretty good year. And a couple other guys, Fletcher Cox from the Eagles, I think might get a second card if they do happen to do 2 defensive tackles. Then for outside linebackers, I'm not sure what they define as an outside linebacker because a lot of them are hybrids between that and DN, so you never know what EA is going to put where and everything. But I would definitely get Lorenzo Alexander from the Bills a card. He needs an upgrade. His highest is like an 87, and he leads the league in sacks. And then maybe Von Miller, they'll give a card, but I highly doubt it since he's another guy that can get a lot of other cards. I would give it to Ryan Kerrigan since he had a pretty nice year for the Redskins, and he did not, they're not in the playoffs, so he won't be getting any more cards anytime soon. Then moving on to inside linebacker, Luke Kuechly and Bobby Wagner are 2 really good ones, but obviously I think they're going to be getting more cards. Luke Kuechly just because he's a beast, and Wagner because the Seahawks are in the playoffs. Dante Hightower already got an upgrade, so that's why I think C.J. Mosley is going to need this upgrade. He already got a campus hero the other day, but I feel like they'll give him another one just because the Ravens aren't going to be heard from much at all. Then cornerbacks, this is a really tough one for me to decide on, but you got to kind of think they're going to give it to a guy who leads the league, right, in interceptions. But then again, Casey Hayward, I feel like he just got a card, so I don't know if they would give it to him, even though he's leading the league in picks. So it's really a pick him for that one. You could go with one of the Denver guys, but I would go with Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie as one of them, definitely. And for the second one, I don't really know who they would put there. You could say Xavier Rhodes because he has not had a good card in a minute. But yeah, I would go with one of those guys. So like Xavier Rhodes, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, and maybe Marcus Peters because he's had another good year. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I did a second receiver, did I? So for second receivers, I was thinking maybe Doug Baldwin because he was having a pretty spectacular year this year. Really came on strong late again like he did last year. So him, of course, he's another reliable option. Oh, I said Mike Evans, my bad. I did say 2. But Doug Baldwin's another throw him out there guy maybe just in case. You never know. He hasn't had an upgrade in a while either. So then we got... for our next position, we have the safeties. Obviously, I think one safety. This is probably the easiest one of all. Let me just go on ahead here and look at my notes real quick. I forget what is it I put down for safety. I put down a really easy one. Landon Collins, of course. That guy went on a tear this year, like a beast. Leads the team in tackles and in picks and in touchdowns. I mean, this guy was just all over the place this year. Landon Collins definitely needs an upgraded card. And for the other position, probably Clinton Dix, one of those guys. You never know who they might put there, though. So maybe like Eric Weddle will get an upgraded card. But yeah, that's all for that. And then lastly, we have the special teamers. Kickers, Justin Tucker, obviously, I think he's the best kicker in the league. He would have to have an upgrade. Punters, Johnny Hacker's a pretty good punter. And that's really all for that. So if you guys like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more. Let me know who you think is going to be on Team of the Year down below. And I will see you guys next time.